Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0-18 here, and welcome back to the channel. I decided after finishing off the 4 main starters in Pokemon Yellow, I'd try something a little bit different. In this video, we'll be finding out how quickly you can beat Pokemon Yellow, but with no experience. So basically, whenever I catch a Pokemon, it'll remain at that level for the rest of the run. So catching a lot of new Pokemon is a must in this challenge. Now, I didn't just do a blind attempt of a no experience run and put it on YouTube. I did many playthroughs, and with my routing skills, I have found probably the fastest way of doing it. There may be a faster way, but come on, I'm just a human here. If these non-solo challenge speedruns are of interest to you and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me on our journey to 1,000 subs. Now, let's get to the run. 3, 2, 1, go. There will be no need for the universal Pokemon randomizer or perfect DVs. We'll be doing this run just as any casual player would, with the exception of this GameShark code. This code will make sure my Pokemon gains no experience. Shout out to RBY Pokemon Challenges for giving me the cheat code, as I could not find this cheat anywhere on the internet. Now let's get to the battle. On perfect DVs, as mentioned in my Pikachu video, Pikachu outspeeds Eevee, but this Pikachu doesn't have perfect speed, so it does get outsped. But luckily, Eevee doesn't cause us any problems and we can move on. As we go forward through the parcel crap, I just want to say there's a slight error with my HTML front-end overlay. The PowerPoints you see for the moves won't be for the Pokemon currently in battle, but the Pokemon that is first in my party. This is because, as far as I could tell, nowhere in GameHook is there a spot for the PowerPoints of the Pokemon currently in battle, since that is kept somewhere else in the RAM or something. I don't know, I'll try to figure it out for next time. Anyway, after delivering the parcel, I buy 10 Pokeballs and 3 potions from the mart, and I go to Route 22 to catch a male Nidoran. However, it has to be a level 3 or 4 since level 2 would be way too weak for some of the fights. Also, the reason I need a male is not because I'm sexist or anything, but it's because the male one has Leer, which is more useful than the female's Growl. After catching one and going to Viridian Forest, I capture 4 sand-attacking capable Pidgeys, since these are going to be the only way in hell I can defeat Brock, because Pikachu certainly ain't gonna do it. I did say before that Pokemon that can learn Double Team naturally via level up, like Pikachu, are allowed to use Double Team, but the problem is I can't level up. After catching 4 sand-attacking Pidgeys, I heal at the center and go face Brock. On Brock's Geodude, I spam Growl until Pikachu is KO'd, and then I send out Pidgey to use 6 sand attacks to reduce the chance of Geodude landing a tackle, and I send out Nidoran to use 6 Leers, and I send out Pidgey to spam Gust to kill it. When Onix comes out, I sand attack it again 6 times, which is made easier than Geodude, since Onix has a chance of not attacking by using Screech. I then use 6 Leers and kill it as fast as possible. Even with 6 Leers, Onix is a pure pain to knock out, but in due time, I'm able to defeat Brock at around 8 minutes. After defeating Brock, I heal at the center, sell TM34 Bide, and I buy some more Pokeballs, Antidotes, and Paralyze Heals, and I fight the Route 3 trainers. In most Pokemon Yellow runs, these guys are barely worth mentioning, but not today. Since I can't earn experience, every trainer is an obstacle I had to take careful time in routing out, so I'll talk about them in detail. Starting with the first bug catcher, I start with Pikachu. I spam Thundershock until I die, and then on Weedle, I send out Nidoran male, since Poison Sting will only do 2 damage to it, and then I use some Leers and kill it with Tackle. Finally, the second Caterpie. I spam Leer until I die, send out Pidgey, and kill it with Gust. I then use a potion and antidote on Pikachu and fight the youngster. I start the fight with a Pidgey. I use 6 sand attacks on Rattata since it is really threatening, and then I kill it with Gust. On Ekans, since its moves are less accurate, I just use 2 of them since that'll make Wrap around a 30% chance to hit, and I kill him with Pidgey. After the youngster, I heal at the center and fight the last. I start the fight with Pikachu, then swap to Pidgey since I forgot to swap Pidgey to slot 1 like an idiot. This fight is very similar to the youngster, except I just use 3 sand attacks on the Nidoran instead of 2. On the bug catcher, I had to spam Thundershock on all of his Pokemon. I have to hope Pikachu doesn't die, since it's the only one with a special move to ignore Metapod's absurd defense gains with Harden. Luckily, I get good RNG and I defeat him with just a level 5 Pikachu. After that Route 3 gauntlet of Gym Leader difficult trainers, I go in the grass to catch a Rattata. I need it for the high speed it has, not only to run away from wild Pokemon in Mount Moon, but also have a stab quick attack to help take care of enemies. I actually do reset here, since I was not able to run away from wild Pokemon in time and just get killed by Spearow, which is just peachy. After getting a Rattata, I go to the Route 4 center, deposit Nidoran, Pikachu, and 2 Pidgeys, and withdraw Rattata to put in slot 1 of my party. I then heal at the center and enter Mount Moon. The reason I use the PC before healing is because in Gen 1, depositing the PC does not restore HP, kinda like it does in modern games. In Mount Moon, I get the TMs for Water Gun and Mega Punch, as well as the rare candy. I actually banned rare candies in this run since they do give experience, just enough to gain you exactly 1 level. I'll be selling these for money. They sell for 2,400 apiece, which is a good chunk of change. While in Mount Moon, I catch a level 11 Geodude, a level 13 Paris, and a level 11 Clefairy. I then use the Moonstone I got along the way to evolve it into a Clefable, teach it Water Gun and Mega Punch, and go fight the Super Nerd. The Super Nerd just goes down to Mega Punch spamming. This shows Clefable will be helpful for these early game fights. I then get the Helix Fossil and I fight Jesse and James. I spam Mega Punch until I die, and I send out Pidgey to do 6 sand attacks, and I send out Geodude. I have it use 6 defense curls to badge boost its attack and sweep the team. Unless Meowth uses Growl to cancel out my badge boosts. Thanks a lot, you jerk. I end up running out of tackles on Coughing and I have to kill it with something else, but I do win the fight first try luckily. I then get out of Mount Moon, pick up the hidden Great Ball for later, go to Cerulean City, get the rare candy, and go to the Mart, where I sell the rare candies and I buy some potions and Pokeballs. I then heal at the center and go fight Rival 2. I start the fight with Rattata. I have it spam Tail Whip until I die, and I send out Pidgey to set up 6 sand attacks. And once that was done, I use Defense Curl until I get to +6 defense, badge boosting my attack in the process, and I spam Tackle to sweep. And then Sandshrew screws me up with Sand Attack, and I have to use Clefable to finish it with Water Gun. I then spam Mega Punch. I do worry for a second I was going to lose this fight, but then Paris came to the rescue with Stun Spore and hitting those scratches through Sand Attacks, so good for Paris. I then heal at the center to restore power points, and I begin the Route 24-25 gauntlet. This won't be any easier than Route 3, so let's get into it. I'll try to go a bit quicker this time. On the first bug catcher, I start with Clefable and spam Mega Punch. I get poisoned in the process, but who cares, I got antidotes. On the last, I also spam Mega Punch. There is the threat of Sand Attacks from Pidgey and Double Kick from Nidoran. Clefable gets killed, but that doesn't matter since it's no longer needed for now. On the youngster, I set up Sand Attacks on Rattata, Stun Spore with Paris, and switch to Geodude. I used the 6 defense curl and attack strategy I attempted on Rival 2 but failed at due to RNG bullshit, but luckily I win this fight on the first try. On the second, literally identical last to the first one, I start with Rattata. I spam Quick Attack until I die after 2 gusts, and then I Stun Spore Pidgey and spam Scratch until Paris dies. Thankfully, I make Defense Curl go BOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOooh, Thankfully, due to my high defense, Double Kick is not threatening at all. You son of a bitch! So after defeating the second last after healing at the center first to have more of my team helping out, I fight the junior trainer. Paris is able to solo it due to resisting low kick, but if Paris were to faint, Quick Attack from Rattata will finish the job. On the rocket, I have Clefable spam Mega Punch, and after a reset of being Wrap Trapped, which is going to be very annoying since I can't outspeed jack shit here, this fight takes a couple tries since this fight is pretty RNG heavy, especially since I need Clefable to live. It probably would have been faster to just have Clefable die and just heal at the center afterwards, but I guess I was just being stubborn. The hiker with the Machamp and Geodude was tricky. Machamp was too fast to allow Pidgey to use Sand Attack on it, but I send out Geodude and I spam Tackle to try and kill it. However, it gets the better of me and I send out Clefable, where everything goes good from there. I then go into the grass to catch 2 higher level Pidgey for faster Sand Attacking users. I probably should have done this first before the Hiker now that I think about it, but whatever, I am not doing this again. In yellow at least. After catching the 2 Pidgeys, I swap the old Pidgeys for new ones and I defeat the junior trainer with Clefable. Well, I tried to. Clefable is good for this point in the game, but not against these little guys. I have to swap to other Pokemon to keep Clefable alive for the rest of the fights. The Hiker with the 3 Geodude is pretty easy since the Geodude are defeated in one hit with Water Gun and Machamp gets Mega Punched in the face. I then heal at the center before the final last, who also goes down to Mega Punch spamming, and now we have reached the end of the Route 24-25 grind. Geez, that took a while, but we can move on now. The Innocent Bystander goes down with help from the new sand-attacking demons now in my possession, and I go down to Route 6 and face the 2 junior trainers guarding the entrance to Vermilion City. The first one goes down to Sand Attack on the first Pidgey and set up from Geodude. You know, the best thing about this No Experience Challenge speedrun is that the batch boost won't end by level up since I can't level up, which will be very nice indeed. The second one goes down to a similar strategy, except Geodude is dead, and I have to rely on Paris and Pidgey to take down Raticate. Finally, I arrive at Vermilion City, and I heal at the center, deposit Clefable and Paris in the PC, and then I go to the Pokemart to sell the Nugget to buy 10 Super Potions and 10 Repels, and I go into Diglett's caves for some encounters. I catch a level 21 Diglett to put in the front of my party, and use the Repel trick to increase the chances of finding Dugtrio since it'll filter out the lower leveled Pokemon. Once I get Dugtrio to appear, I have to be very careful since it can kill me, so I set up some sand attacks and carefully get its health down since the thing is very deadly, which is why I want it. After I catch it, I move Dugtrio to slot 1 and I can finally have some easy fights for a while. I spam Body Slam on Rival 3, get the TM for rest for later, and I leave the ship. I get the bike voucher, and I walk back to Cerulean City to fight Misty by spamming Dig. After that, I go back to Surge and win pretty easily. I then get the Squirtle for Surf and Strength later, dig back to Cerulean City, and fight the trainers in Route 9 and Rock Tunnel. No need to mention them since I have a level 31 Dugtrio. When I get to Cerulean City, I heal at the center and go shopping. I sell all my remaining Pokeballs, TM28, Antidotes, and Paralyze Heals, and I buy 15 Great Balls and 8 Super Repels. I also buy 2 Pokédolls and 1 Fresh Water, and I go get Fly, teach it to Pidgey, use a Repel, and fly to Lavender Town to fight Rival 4, which I'm just speeding through since I want to get to the good stuff. After sending the Marowak to hell and rescuing Mr. Fuji, I go south to Route 12, obtain Swift, and get the Super Rod, since I'll be doing some fishing. I fish up a level 35 Seadra, which will help for the next, and probably last, hard fight in this run, as you'll see shortly. After I catch the Seadra, I fly to Celadon, heal at the center, teach it Swift, and I go through Cycling Road. No need for the rare candy this time, and I go through the Safari Zone. The only thing I keep in here is the full restore. The vitamins won't be too useful since I can't level up. I then get the teeth and surf and I dig back to Celadon City. I fly back to Fuchsia City and go to Route 15 to catch a sleep powder user. My notes said to use Oddish, but I don't know why I didn't catch that Bellsprout there. It also would have worked, but whatever. My notes also did say to catch 2 Pidgeotto for faster sand attacking users, but the main problem here is that Pidgeotto are a 10% spawn and have Whirlwind, while useless in trainer battles are super annoying in wild battles. I then decide that instead, I'll just go to Route 12 and get 2 more Seadra instead. Seadra is a smokescreen user and is easier to catch than Pidgeotto, so I just catch them instead. After I capture 2 more Seadra, I fly back to Fuchsia, swap the 2 Pidgeys for the 2 Seadra I just caught, heal at the center, and I go into Koga's gym. The first 2 gym trainers go down mainly to my Seadra. I use 1 smokescreen and spam Swift. Since Seadra only learns Swift via TM, only one of them can have it, and he's going to be the MVP of the Koga fight. Let's skip these trainer battles and go to Koga. Here's the long, complex plan for Koga. I start with a Seadra, preferably not the Swift user, but sometimes I'm an idiot and do just that. Scratch that, 9 out of 8 times I'm an idiot. And then I use 2 smoke screens, switch to Dugtrio, and spam Dig. I only use 2, since that'll reduce sleep powder from 75% to make it rare to even hit, and it's faster to do it like this too. On the second Venonat, I do the exact same thing. On the third Venonat, I use 3 smoke screens since I didn't want to risk only going for 2, and I spam Dig with Dugtrio. Venomoth is where things get real difficult. I spam Sand Attack on Venomoth until I die, and I try to get it to -6 accuracy. Bonus points if Squirtle can land any Tail Whips on Venomoth before going down, and then I send out the Swift using Seadra, and spam that since it ignores evasion and accuracy checks. With a bit of help from RNGesus, I defeat Koga within a few tries, which was really nice. Now, with Koga's badge, I get the ability to use Surf. But first, I deposit a Seadra and swap it for Oddish, get Strength, teach it and Surf to Squirtle, and I fly to Cerulean City and then head to the power plant. I will be attempting to capture Zapdos. The plan is to get off a few smoke screens and sand attacks, and then use Oddish for sleep powder and chuck Great Balls. You may think that this strategy is way too luck-based, but you're wrong. In Gen 1, putting a Pokemon to sleep or freezing it increases its catch rate by a flat 21%, so Zapdos basically has a 1 in 5 chance of being caught, so it doesn't really take long. The hardest part is that everything I have is O-code by Zapdos. The only way to get off a sand attack is for it to use Thundershock on Dugtrio, and I can just take it from there. After I catch Zapdos, I fly to Celadon City, withdraw it from the PC, heal at the center, teach Thunderbolt to Zapdos, and spam Drill Peck on Erica for the win. I then fly to Saffron City and go do the Silphco mission. Everything here is very easy with Zapdos, just like the early game was with Dugtrio. I do reset on the rival since I got sand attacked and I didn't want to waste time missing my moves. After I defeat Giovanni, I get the Master Ball, deposit some Pokemon I wasn't using, and I also make Silphco file another insurance claim due to property and emotional damages from digging within a building. When I dig back to Fuchsia City, I go south to Route 19. And I capture Articuno from within the Dwells of the Seafoam Islands. No need for sleep tactics when you have the Master Ball. I then dig out, fly to Palatown, surf to Cinnabar Island, get the rare candy, and the secret key, dig back out, and I fly to Cinnabar Island. I go to the mart, sell some super repels and some other junk, to buy hyper potions, max repels, and full heals, since I didn't have enough money earlier to buy all the repels I needed. I then teach Bubble Beam to Articuno and go fight Blaine. I start the fight with Articuno and have it spam Bubble Beam until it dies, and I switch into Zapdos to finish the job. Blaine is still difficult, but nowhere near as difficult as Brock or Koga. I cannot think of a single Pokemon I'm gonna have to do in the future where the most difficult gym leaders are only Brock and Koga. After defeating Blaine, I dig out, fly to Saffron City, get the TM for Mimic, and spam Drill Peck on Sabrina. I outspeed her first 2 Pokemon, so Flash and Kinesis are not problems here. After that exhilarating match, I dig out, fly to Viridian City, and challenge the final gym leader, Giovanni. He was just a simple sweep with Ice Beam. After that, Rival 6 goes down. He isn't a simple sweep either. Both birds are used in this fight. I use Ice Beam on the Sandslash and Execute, and on Cloyster I switch to Zapdos and use Thunderbolt. On Magneton, I switch to Articuno and spam Bubble Beam until Articuno goes down, and then Zapdos can finish the job. Now, on to the final 5 trainers. Let's do this shit! On Lorelei, I spam Thunderbolt with Zapdos, but on Slowbro, I'd mimicked Amnesia so I can defeat the Jynx and Lapras in one hit. I only had to use it 2 times in order to do so. On Bruno, I started with Articuno and I spam Bubble Beam and Ice Beam for the win. What a joke. On Agatha, I started with Zapdos. I mimicked Substitute to eliminate Confusion and Paralysis RNG. I defeated the first Gengar with Drill Peck and spam Thunderbolt on the rest. On Lance, I start the fight with Zapdos yet again. I Thunderbolted the Gyarados, and I switch to Articuno and spam Ice Beam. The main problem with this fight is that Dragonite outspeeds both of my Pokemon, and Lance could use a devastating move like Blizzard, Fire Blast, or Thunder. These moves do have bad accuracy, so I'd have to bank on a miss. This does take a few tries, however, but if Articuno dies, I can just Mimic Blizzard and use it, but Mimic takes one turn for setup and opens up Zapdos to an attack. I only win this fight due to a miss, allowing me to take him down. On the champion, I start the fight with Articuno. I use Ice Beam on Sandslash, and I spam Ice Beam on Alakazam until I die. Bonus points if it freezes, so Articuno can be used later if things with Zapdos go bad. Once Alakazam dies, Exeggutor comes out. I send out Zapdos if it currently isn't out, and I mimic Hypnosis and put it to sleep and kill it with Drill Peck. I do use Rest here in case I need to, since without Rest, this fight is very inconsistent. After Exeggutor, I Hypnosis Magneton and spam Drill Peck, since I really don't have any good options for it. On Cloyster, I use Thunderbolt, and on Flareon, I spam Drill Peck. I do use a Hypnosis if I'm low on health here, but after several tries to get this fight work, I get a real time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 28 seconds, and a game time at the Hall of Fame of 5 hours and 39 minutes. This run was just for fun, so I won't be putting it on the leaderboard. It was a lot of fun routing out a multi-Pokemon non-solo speedrun challenge, but it also was a lot of work. If you enjoyed this and have any other ideas for a challenge like this, please leave a comment. Also like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and would like to see more. I'll be back to the solo yellow runs after this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next speedrun.